General Granger versus General Tower, but I can't build any units, so we're not building anything from the Command Center, Supply Center, Barracks, War Factory, or Airfield. Rangers that spawn from destroyed buildings, as well as paradrops, and Chinooks that spawn from supply centers are allowed because we're not actually building those units from the production buildings. Now, Dozer, that is the one and only Dozer we'll be using here today. We lose that, we're toast. Anyways, on with the battle. So this was not entirely my idea to do a round 2 video between Granger and Tower, but I did get a suggestion from Guy Franklin to use fire bases in what I would call the Dozer Journey strategy. And the Dozer Journey strategy, if you want to check it out, I first did it as General Bay and General Kwai. And basically what it is, I would send the Dozer to different sections of the map, building base defenses to destroy Tower's nuke cannons and other buildings nearby, and then just generating lots of EXP to get to an artillery barrage, and then we'd use that to destroy the propaganda center, preventing him from building nuke cannons, because that would be my major weakness in a can't build any units challenge. So Guy Franklin said to me, have you tried sending your Dozer in a Chinook up to the northwest corner of Tower's base and setting up a fire base on the road? A fire base with S&D would be able to shred 2 reactors, 1 prop tower, 1 nuke silo, and 1 GAT, which is a huge amount of EXP, also clearing the Gatling cannon, mainly using splash damage from the nuke silo, would let you place another fire base nearer to the base perimeter, allowing you to shred another 2 reactors and a Gatling cannon. Franklin also suggested fire bases and other sections of Tower's base. The main issues I found with that is going to be the aggro range of his defending units, but also his attacking units if he's still got production buildings left. So if you were going to do that, it'd be best to do it at the end, while he's got no units left to defend and interfere with the Dozer setting up. That way you could creep forward with those fire bases with little to no interference. With that said though, you're probably going to have at least rank 3 with your general powers, so you could always use the general powers instead to whittle down those defenses, and then maybe do a combination of fire bases and rangers with flashbangs to pick off the rest, or capture his buildings too. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus mainly on the northwest with firebasing, and then we're going to mix in a few other strategies too to defeat Tower. So right now I'm using my Patriot to destroy the War Factory, just like I did with the Barracks. So with the Barracks I got 2 Rangers out of that, and I did get the upgrades too. And with the War Factory I'm going to get another 5. So we'll have 7 Rangers total to play with. Now I'm going to get 2 of those Rangers and join up with the 2 capturing the oil derrick. I only need 1 oil derrick because the spendage is so low, since I'm only using 1 Dozer to spend the money. Now the 3 remaining Rangers are going to join up with that Dozer, so we've got Team A and Team B. Now with the Rangers at the oil derrick, I have hotkeyed them to 1 and 2. Now I'll explain why I did that later on. Now with the Dozer, we've just finished building the strategy center, and with Air Force, when you build a strategy center, you've got access to a carpet bomb. And we're going to use that carpet bomb to not only destroy the airfield, but we're going to take out a bunch of his vehicles too. So that will be a lot of EXP, and we're going to send the Chinook with the Dozer to the northwest, so then we can start firebasing General Tower. So with Team B, we're going to send the Chinook to the north, where the War Factory and the garrison buildings are, and it doesn't matter if this Chinook survives or not. We just want to evac, and this is why I hotkeyed the Rangers earlier, so then I can split them up efficiently. So now I've got 2 Rangers that are going to capture the reactor and the War Factory, and then the other 2 are going to start flashbanging. See, we just want to flashbang these tents here, and it doesn't matter if we can get to the garrison towers or not. The goal here was to get to the nuke truck, and wasn't really successful here because the battle masters as well as the red guards got in the way. See, it is very possible to get to the end tent to get to the nuke truck, but yeah, I just wasn't able to make it work in this attempt. Now as for Team A, we're going to start building the fire bases along the road, like Franklin said. Now I got lucky here, and for some reason the nuke truck went off, so it might have been the rocket troopers inside the garrison towers. Maybe they hit the nuke truck. That's probably the most likely outcome that happened here, but in any case we're able to minimize the threat to some extent, and we're able to start picking off red guards as well.
Always prepared. Don't want any trouble. They're attacking our base. Hold it right there. Enemy identified.
Unit lost. Might makes right. Would you not agree, General?
Wanna make some
Meanwhile, back at
improvements?
Team A, we got one Firebase. We're going to build a second one, and we're going to start attacking the reactors. Now, I do have 3 Rangers here, so they can also chip away at the reactors. But I want to send one guy to start banging the buildings and clear out those garrisons. So with that, I don't really care about like splitting up the veterancy, like swapping the Rangers around. I just want to bang the buildings here, so then we can decrease the amount of defense that Tau has, and then we can push north and then to the right. Beautiful. So we're going to garrison the building that we just banged and take out that bunker too. So one Vet 3 Ranger versus a bunker is actually pretty easy work for the Ranger. Now we took out the reactors, and we're going to try and force fight. It's a little awkward getting to that nuke silo, so I'm relying more on the splash damage to get us through the nuke silo. Now I've got one Ranger who's going to pick off the speaker tower, and the other 2 still picking apart that reactor there.
And now for my final attack. Hold on, General.
Just got our 3rd Firebase, building a war factory next. I think you know why. And we just hit rank 3, so I'm going with A10 and Inspector Gunship here. So I'm going to use the Inspector Gunship to take out the war factory, and I'm going to use the A10 to take out the barracks. So we flashbanged the garrison buildings earlier because the A10 has to fly past those in order to get to the barracks. So I'm just trying to increase the odds of the A10 actually getting there. Now, we did lose 1 Ranger, and our other 2 are able to pick off the Vet 3 Red Guard and then finish off the reactor. As for the 3rd Firebase, we can now take out the Gatling cannon. Now I want to build a Patriot just to have a little bit of extra defense, but we want to use the Patriot to also help in taking out our war factories to generate more Rangers to work with. There goes the nuke silo, so that's a lot of EXP for me, and we're almost ranking up again. Now that the nuke is gone, I'm using 2 Firebases to take out the garrison tower that's off to the left, because behind that is 1 Gatling cannon, and even without search and destroy from the strat center, you can destroy that Gatling cannon once the tower's out of the way. Now with the strategy center, I went with bombardment. I don't need the extra range, and the cannon on the end also serves as good defense because I've only got 1 Patriot plus that cannon to defend my base. Now I did run out of power, and now you can see my duck in the bottom left corner, but just got to sell off the supply center. I only wanted the Chinook anyway to transport my Rangers and my Dozer around, and I used the satellite scan to see how many defending units the Tau had left in the middle.
Taking new position. Secure and occupy. New construction. Let's find a better place. Clocked in. Need a point man? Pin him down. On the go. Always prepared.
Soon your base will glow like the sun.
Loaded with U.S. quality.
So I'm sending in my Chinook to drop off the Rangers and the Dozer to start capturing and building stuff. As for the satellite scan we did earlier on, it was to see if General Tau had any more Battle Masters or Overlords. If he did, they'd be coming straight for my Dozer to destroy it, but since I know he doesn't have those, I can use my Rangers to capture the radiation bunker as well as 2 reactors, and we can use the Dozer to build 1 Firebase. And this Firebase will be within range of the Gatling cannon even without search and destroy.
Army's elite.
I'm going to get the remaining 4 Rangers to go inside the Chinook, and they're going to join up with the rest of the Rangers. Now, I probably could have brought the Rangers a little bit closer to where the Gatling cannon is, that way they could pick off the Gatling cannon more easily, because the Gatling cannon is going to be focused on the radiation bunker, but the radiation bunker is quite tanky against the Gatling cannon, so it will take a little bit to take that out. But the Firebase is going to do some of the work as well, and we can move on and keep pushing to the right. So I'm pulling out the Inspector Gunship again, and we're going for his Gatling cannons. So the reason why we're going for his Gatling cannons is so my Rangers can push more to the right without interference. Now I do have rank 4, and I went for Paradrop. Now I was a little hesitant to do it because of his defense, but I used it where the prop center is. Now even if the plane didn't make it, I did have a plan B. What I would do instead would be building more war factories with the Dozer and then destroying that, and then just Chinooking the 5 Rangers over to where his prop center is. So whichever way it went, I would have been covered. Now as for the reactors and the supply center, I'm going to capture those. See, I could destroy those and get more EXP, but by this point I don't need rank 5. I don't even need rank 4. because of that alternative to paradrops that I just mentioned.
On the go. On task. Ready for action.
The wonderful glow. Can you not see it, General?
So the paradrop worked, and I'm going to get my rangers to capture a couple more buildings. I'm also going to use the A10 strike on the Gatling cannon because that's going to be the most problematic thing for them to deal with. Meanwhile, further left, we're continuing to capture reactors. I'm also going to use my rangers to take out the supply trucks, because once we take out the supply center, there's also a chance that those trucks could move to the command center and then run over my rangers, and we don't want.
I think this is your perspective, General.
Need a point, man?
Unit lost.
Always prepared. Need a point, man? On the go. Building is ours. Building is ours. Special forces here. Ready for action. The building is captured, sir. The building is ours. Man down! Army's elite.
The end is near, General.
Special forces here. Ready for action. Let's take the building.
So Tau has 6 reactors left total, 4 here, and then 2 at the Gatling cannon, and I can't really do much else but wait on the general powers to be ready again. So what I'm doing in the meantime is I'm using my rangers to clear out the garrison buildings, and also taking out the troop crawler. Meanwhile, the carpet bomb came and took out 2 reactors and heavily damaged 1. So we're getting closer and closer to sending Tau offline and preventing him from firing a nuclear missile.
Isn't down, General.
Building captured. Search and destroy. Rally point confirmed. Search and destroy.
At this moment, I remembered my dozer, and I thought, let's just build a firebase, that way we can deal with the last Gatling cannon. The thing with that though is that I also have my inspector gunship, which is ready to go, and we use that on the 2 reactors on the right. Now the thing with General Tau is his reactors give you 18 power each. So with 2 reactors left, that's going to be 36, but he's got 4 nuclear missiles, which requires 40 power. So with my inspector gunship, we're able to pick off those 2 reactors off to the right, and that's going to send him offline. And then my rangers can now swoop in and capture the last 2 reactors. And that'll be how I beat General Tau again as General Granger in a Can't Build Any Units challenge. So thank you again to Guy Franklin 4143 for making the suggestion. And if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other Command and Conquer vids. I'll see you next time. Bye.
To fight this, General. I know your weaknesses now, General. The next attack will be unstoppable.
We have their building. Building capture complete.
You are victorious.
Another moment, and I would have reduced you to dust.